Hi, welcome to Q Entertainment, where we continue to play Magic the Gathering. So to this video we'll continue playing standard ranked. The quest for today is to cast 20 white or blue spells. So we'll choose the white blue deck. I think it is possible to change the quest. I think it's possible to click it and change it, but we don't have any deck preferences at this point, so we'll just play with the colors. It's a good way to learn all the colors and all the different cards and decks. Okay, so we have two lands, something to play on, a 1-drop potential, and also we have Birth of Meletis, which can fetch us more land. So we can play that on turn 2. And then we also have a turn 3 play, Banishing Light, to banish something of the opponent. We can play Naiad of Hidden Coves. As long as it's not your turn spells you cost 1 less, that's pretty good. We'll play the Birth of Meletis. Fetch a land. This is pretty good. Karametra's Blessing. Target creature gets +2/+2, and if it's an enchanted creature or enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible. And the opponent is some kind of mull deck. Thieves. Human rogue. We've seen this before. Quite annoying. So we could banish one of them whenever Thieves Guild force or another rogue enters the battlefield. Each opponent mulls 2 cards. I think we'll rather just play some creatures. We have a Luminous Broodmoth, so this is pretty good. It's got whenever a creature you control without flying dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a flying counter on it. So that's useful. We gain some life. So we can play when this enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Yep. And we can reveal an enchantment or artifact from them and put it into our hand. The opponent has a Lurus. Maybe we'll save the Banishing Light for the Lurus. So we have a Shambling Suit. Its power is equal to the number of artifacts and enchantments we control. Midnight Clock. Now it will take 12, basically 6 turns, and we can shuffle our hand and our graveyard. That's actually good since we're playing a mull deck. That's actually perfect. Let's not attack this turn. They have Death Touch. Not sure for how long. Why did they get Death Touch? Okay, as long as we have 8 or more cards in graveyard, they get +2/+1 and they get Death Touch. Let's block one of them. I'm saving the other one for the Luminous Broodmoth. So let's see, we won't be able to play both, unfortunately. If we get the clock on the battlefield, it's another mana. Can start going, but I'd like to be able to block one of their rogue things. Also, we can play they counter our thing. So we have the Kiara's Blessing. So let's end the turn. So if they attack, we can block and block. And we can cast this. Because it's an enchantment creature, it will be also indestructible, and it will have hexproof. So we could kill one of their Thieves Guild things. If they don't have something they can cast as well. They do seem to have spells of some kind. So they might actually just let it die, play Lurus, and play the Thieves Guild back. It would be quite annoying actually. So they just go and counter the spell. Okay, they buy the Lurus. Okay, they couldn't just cost it, that's fine. So we'll play the Midnight Clock. Play an island. End turn. We have quite a bit of mana. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll have 7. This gives us mana 8. So hopefully we draw another creature we can play. Hopefully they play the Lurus. Okay, we should. Let's add more counters on. Okay, we just mulled lots of creatures. This would have been nice. Giant. Okay, we get a sphere when the it prevents the. So we'll exile the Lurus. And the sphere prevents something from attacking. Buys us a bit of time. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Or 8. And it takes 3. Yeah, we need to draw something hopefully to get rid of the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Does this to it. When you cast a spell from hand, copy it, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Anything we want to return to our hand. This is an instant. So we could wait for their turn. If we return the Thieves Guild to their hand, they'll make us mull again, which is okay. If the Midnight Clock can. If the Midnight Clock can kick in. So this says copy if you control an artifact, and copy it if you control an enchantment, which we do. Okay, they have a crab. We'll definitely send that back. Actually, it doesn't do damage, and they've already got lots of land. Let's common damage. That player mulls a card, draw a card. Okay. So we'll send back the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Do they have a counter spell? We'll send back our Capture Sphere. And their other Thieves Guild Enforcer. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, that player mulls a card. Yeah, we'll send the other one back. Okay, they counted one of our spells. I think they counted the one where we... Okay, they're gonna mull us a lot now, unfortunately. So that didn't work out quite as well for us. Not sure we're going to make it. Let's block this thing. Archon, whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield, create a Pegasus. That would be useful if we had creatures with flying. I mean, if we had more enchantment, so this is sort of one of our only hopes. If we can make it to the next turn, we might get all our cards back. The opponent might have a Zenith Flare. Actually, I think that only applies to their graveyard, so that should be okay. So if we can make it through this turn, we might survive. So whenever a rogue attacks, we mull 2 cards, 2, 4, 6. 6 if another rogue enters. And they play the land. 6. But now we'll get 2 more cards. 4 more. It's really close. And they can activate this, which is another card. Don't know. We're also running low on life, obviously. Do we survive? So this says we will shuffle our hand and our graveyard. So I will play the Archon. Unfortunately, I think we won't have mana to do anything. To be honest, they counter the spell. Yeah. And we're left with only 2 mana. Yeah. Yeah, so we saved the mole, but we ran out of life. So it was close. Surely the opponent should just attack now. I mean, that's just annoying. They just needed to attack, to be honest. They needed to do additional millage. Maybe we should have played the Midnight Clock 1 turn sooner. I think I debated about playing it or something else. Not sure. Don't really have enough spells to get rid of their creatures, so the greatest matchup. Okay, we have 2 lands, we have 2 Births of Meletus. And we again have Banish into Fable, which seems like a pretty good card. Seems like a decent hand. We have turn 1. Turn 1 we don't have anything. Turn 2 we can play a Birth. Turn 3 we could play one of these. Or another Birth. Let's see if the opponent... what they do. Basically return non-land permanent to its owner's hand. You create a 2/2 white creature token. So we could, in theory, cast this on something like a Birth and play it again. Because it's an enchantment. Get a Thirst for Meaning, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard an enchantment. Okay, drew a card, Metro's Blessing. Target creature gets +2 until end of turn. If it's an enchanted creature or enchantment creature, it also gains hexproof and indestructible. Opponent seems to be red and green for now. There might also be black deck. Let's see if we can play Naya. As long as it's not your turn, spells cost 1 less. Let's play the Naya. Get it on the battlefield. Okay, this reduces the cost of Banish if we play it in opponent's turn. They have a Scute, which is very annoying. Whenever land enters the battlefield, they can create a 1/1 green insect creature token, and if they control 6 or more lands, they create a copy of a Scoot. So if they get to maybe mutate onto this, they could potentially copy a very nasty thing. Let's attack. Maybe we can do damage before the opponent. Gets too big of an army. Cultivate, of course. That's a land drop. They'll also have one from their hand, surely. So we could play this in their turn, draw 3 cards, then discard 2 cards. Yeah, why not? It's their turn. Okay, we drew a bunch of land. Let's decline. Let's discard 2 lands. Okay, we drew more land. Not the greatest. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we wait into their turn, we can play this on their turn and potentially return the birth to our hand and return the Scoot to their hand. Not going to help us too much, but they have to return it. They have to cast it again. And we can return that to our hand. And their copy they've made. So that's sort of some of our only hope. If they brush Fire Elemental, can't be blocked with creatures with power 2 or less. Whenever land enters the battlefield, it gets +2/+2. Okay, so this can help us with that. Also, we can play the Capture Sphere. So that's a 4, but it has flash, so potentially if we play it in their turn, it's 3 mana cost. Let's play the Birth Meliodas. For 6, attack with our tokens. They block one of them, it's fine. So we can play this in their turn. Because this will get a couple of +2 counters on it. Because of the Cultivate. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that they now have 6 lands, so now their Scoots become quite annoying as they make copies of themselves. So for every land, the number of things they create just exponentially goes up. Okay, they play another Scoot Swarm. They haven't mutated them yet, so that's pretty good. So play island. I'll play the owl. So not really sure this is a cheaper spell to cast. Might as well cast it. So keep this for the opponent's turn, although I don't think we'll need it this turn. So the opponent could double block just some of the creatures, which would be okay for us. They have a bunch of Scoots, so they don't. So potentially next turn we could do lethal with the owl and Karametra's Blessing. The opponent's creating a big army of Scoots, but I don't think it will save them. Because they just 1/1s. They can't attack this turn. And we have a fair number of blockers. They play Cultivate. Give them another 100 of these things. Wow, that is such a huge army of things. It's very fortunate they didn't mutate flying onto them or something like that. It would have been unstoppable. They give one a counter. They give another Fabled Passage. I think they're just trying to annoy us possibly, since they know it's pretty much over. Although they gained life. How did they gain life? Okay, they got counters and they gained 2 life. So our only hope is to draw another one of these. I don't see us getting through the opponent's defenses. Opponent's just delaying the game now. Quite silly. We are going to be 1 short from lethal damage, potentially. So this could give us 3 cards, but we won't have the mana to cast it. Unless we are lucky enough to draw 1 more of these. So, yeah, this is 3, we'll give it 2, it's 5. Just don't have another flying creature would have really helped. Maybe we draw an enchantment or a spell to give something flying. That would help too. Not sure why the opponent hasn't gone. Maybe they want to play another land. That would be annoying. Opponent thinks it's a good game. Not sure why. So we didn't draw anything to give anything flying. We don't have anything. Did we get anything that we need? No. So I think that's it. I think the opponent will win. I think the opponent thought they'd lost. Almost didn't block this one. Would have been funny. Yeah, I'm going to concede. Waiting for 150 tokens to attack me. Not quite something I want to do. Okay, we cast our spells. Got gold experience. This deck is fun, but it's a bit slow. Let's see what other deck we can play with. Play one more game. Let's try black and red. Don't think I've played with that for a while. Black and red should be quicker than white and blue. Should be more aggressive. From my memory. Okay, so it's a decent hand, but there's no red mana. We have a turn 2 play. I think it's important to have the correct mana. I'll try play with it. Not sure how that's gonna go. So basically I have 2 turns to hopefully draw a red land, a red source. Opponent has one, and they play a Fervent Champion. Okay, we draw the red. Perfect. So do we play Croxa? So it says when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice it. When it enters the battlefield or attack, each opponent discards a card. Then each opponent who didn't. So, yeah, let's make the opponent. Let's play a creature. So we can have it get killed, or we can play Shock next turn or Fire Prophecy. We can play Infuriate next turn. Yeah, I guess we could block for now, have a token created, and then next turn put a +3/+2 counter on it. That's annoying. They play a second Fervent Champion. And a Fireblade Charger. It's haste. When it dies, it does damage to any target. Okay. Might as well block. We get our token. Let's plan this out. We can play another Discordant Piper. I would like to play Croxa. Have the opponent discard a card. I didn't play it the previous turn because I wanted the opponent to play their cards and potentially leave only good cards in their hand. I don't quite understand what happened. Whenever a Croxa enters purple text, each opponent discards a card. Did they discard a card? Maybe they discarded Phoenix of the Ash. Okay, we don't have the mana source for the Infuriate. But we can do it next turn. We'll have 4 mana. Then champion attacks. Another target knight gets +1. Okay. Here we have a Blood Aspirant. Whenever you sacrifice a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter. Sacrifice a creature, Blood Aspirant. Okay. We'll play the Piper. So when this thing dies, it deals damage equals to its power to any target. So if we kill it now, it would just kill the Piper. So no point in playing it now. So hopefully this turn the opponent attacks, and we can... that's annoying. So let's play this. Do we want to put something in the library? Decline. I think the cards we have are okay. The opponent did that in our turn, so it's good I didn't play the Infuriate. I was going to use it to save its life. I'm not going to block. This token is something that we can use to sacrifice for the Blood Aspirant. Also draw a Elite Hunter, sacrifice another creature or an artifact. It deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So that's pretty good, but we won't have the mana for a while, and our life is getting slow. So I think I'm gonna try this strategy. Hopefully the opponent doesn't bone crush us or something like that. Okay, they play an Annex. Okay, we'll block with that. Hopefully we can cast a spell. Okay, we cannot. We don't have the red mana source. That is annoying. I keep forgetting. Okay, Slaughter Priest. Sacrifice a creature. So we can play this. We'll have a blocker, potentially. No point in attacking. I think our hand was just too slow this turn. Croxa needs 4 other cards from the graveyard. Maybe they attack, we'll block. With the Aspirant, it will die. Go to the graveyard. I'm wondering if the opponent has some kind of boost spell, Brimrock Knight or something like that. I suspect they do. Yep. Play Croxa. Exile 5 cards. Okay, 5, I thought it was 4. So this is good. We had to block with both of those, and the opponent will have to discard a card. See what they discard. They discard a Burn Bright. Target creature gets +2. So we can either play the... Okay, I was going to say we can play the Slaughter Priest, but we cannot. The fact that they're attacking with all might suggest they have more boost spells. We have no choice but to block the Annex, otherwise we'll be lethal. Let's see what they have. Do they have another Rimrock Knight? No, they just give us shock. They shock us straight. So. And they shock everything. Okay. Yeah, our hand was a bit too slow this turn. This game. But definitely a lot more aggressive than the blue and the white deck. I think I'll play one more round. See if we can get a win. I like to end on a win. Hero Mike. Hero Mike. That's a very modest name. Okay, we have 3 land. We have spells to play from turn 2. We have a Heartless Act. It's great. That would have been useful in the previous game. Something like a Heartless Act. Careless Celebrant. When Careless Celebrant dies, it deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. So that's also something you can pretty much throw under the bus, put in front of an opponent. So they potentially have 4 colors. Interesting. Very interesting. We get to Dire Fleet Warmonger. Beginning of combat on your turn, you may sacrifice another creature. If you do, Dire Fleet Warmonger gets 2/2 and gains trample until end of turn. That's quite a thing. So we'll play it, but I won't sacrifice anything just yet. And they heartless acted. It's okay. The opponent hasn't played anything yet, but they have 3 lands. They have white, black, blue, and then also the green source. And they've revealed a Reflections of Lichara. Enter the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. Okay, that means they might duplicate their creatures. Let's play as many creatures as we can, because I sense trouble coming. Okay, so this turn, if they have a land, they can play this. They play Angel. Do we have anything we can remove an enchantment? Two, 4, 6, 8. So we can almost do lethal damage. The opponent should start playing stuff, otherwise they could be in trouble. But I suspect they do. They've named Angel. They play a Righteous Valkyrie. Whenever Angel will click against a battlefield, you gain life. As long as you have at least 7 life, each creatures you control get +2/+2. That will get rid of one. Sacrifice a creature, draw 2 cards. Do we need to? Do we want more cards, or do we just attack? I think cards will. Let's attack first. Also, let's get rid of the thing. Okay, it doesn't kill it, but if it blocks, it dies. Now let's play this. Sacrifice this. It does 2 damage to target creature, and we just get land. Not exactly what we need. They play a Baneslayer Angel. Probably they played their Valkyrie just to draw out our things, our elimination spells. So we could either extinct this thing, or we can eat to extinction one of their Baneslayer Angels. It's difficult because they have 5/5. That's pretty much no turns for us whatsoever. Put that in the graveyard. Yeah, might as well attack. Took no damage from demons or dragons. Ah, first strike. Okay, they have first strike, and they've played a second thing, so that makes it near impossible for us. So if we attack now, we get 2 damage, which takes them down to 5. No, they gained life. Sorry. Ugh, that's annoying. So basically, need them to attack. Okay, they have another Reflections of Lichara. Yep, I think we're pretty much... nothing we can do. They have blockers. Can attack with this. This will have almost no effect. So if this dies, it deals 2 damage. And they play another one, they play another angel. Yeah, good game. I don't think we have any way of winning that game. It's only a rare card, not exactly a mythic card, but still a very difficult deck to beat. Interesting deck. Duplicates, like a spell that lets you copy spells. And then there's all these angels. I don't think I've actually seen that card before. And then that, against the previous opponent, that was their main game plan. Okay, we have more land, we have stuff to play, except this Gormand. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. But you have to sacrifice a creature to play the card. Okay. I played the wrong land. But doesn't matter, we don't have anything to sacrifice. So the only creature we actually have is Croxa. We'll play Croxa. Maybe we can play the Fire Prophecy. Turn. Okay, we'll play Fire Prophecy. We want to get draw another card. You may put a card from your hand on the bottom of your library and draw a card. Yeah, let's put this away. It's very expensive. I think we'll play it anytime soon. We get a bit in Friendship. I would like to try and see if we play the Croxa. If before it exiles itself, we can play the Village Rite. I think I'm going to use this as an opportunity to try that. Opponent plays Herald Skemfar. Zipperfield, look at the top 5 cards, reveal an elf, something. They reveal another Herald, but they can only play one at a time. So we have the mana, we do. Let's press control for full control. Auto pay. Resolve that. Okay, it's on the battlefield. It hasn't been exiled yet. So we auto pay and we sacrifice it. Okay, that seems to have worked. We get to draw 2 cards. And the opponent still has to discard a card, so that seems to have worked quite well. Croxa ends up in the graveyard anyway. Next turn we can Heartless Act their Herald. Although they'll just play another one. So this is the top 5 cards. So this says whenever an opponent controls is put into a graveyard, do a bunch of stuff. It's Heartless Acted. So, do we want to play the land tapped or not? I'm trying to see what we can play. If we do, we can play this red thing and a white creature token. So if we play this turn, we can double block if they attack again with the Herald. Next turn we can play the Piper, we can play an Infuriate, Scorpion. We do need another card in the graveyard to be able to play the Cruxer. So if the opponent does attack, we'll double block, even though they'll get to play another Herald. Lets them look at the top 5 cards, and they may reveal an Elf, Warrior, or Tyvar card and put it into their hand. Okay, they play a Nightmare Shepherd. Exile it if you do, create a copy, that's 1-1. Okay, so no block. We need the graveyard stuff. They get to create a 1-1 copy of Herald. Okay, it even has its ability, okay, it's interesting. Light Aspirant. Play the Scorpion. We'll play the Piper. And we'll end turn. The opponent has a flying creature, we need to deal with that soon, hopefully. Some kind of eliminate spell, destroy spell, fire. Actually, that won't even be good enough. Need like a Heartless Act. The opponent should be able to... I think the opponent can play another Herald. Even though this is a copy of it, I'm not sure it applies to tokens, but I don't know. The fact that the opponent hasn't played it, maybe it does. Because when you can only have one legendary item on the one copy of a legendary spell on the battlefield. Keep in mind they play Tyvar Kel. Elves you control have this ability, add 1 mana, put a +1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Elf, untap it, it gains Death Touch until end of turn. Or for 0, create a 1/1 green elf. Or for -6, whenever you cast an elf spell, it gains haste. And draw 2 cards, wow.
The greatest heroes have the longest sagas.
Yep, another unfortunate game. It's 3 games in a row I don't think we'll win. They choose to add mana. Strange. Oh, okay, they get to untap it, so that's pretty clever, and they can add another mana. They don't attack. We get a Slaughter Priest. So let's create a rat. Because if we get 3, we can potentially gain control of target creature. Let's see, which one do we want on the battlefield first? This is a 2/2. Let's get that on there. Let's not attack. In case the opponent decides to attack, we can potentially block. Sacrifice another creature or chargement. It gains first strike. It's not the best. This says when you sacrifice a permanent with a +1 counter on Blood Aspirant. That's useful. That creature can't block. Okay. Not sure what the opponent's taking long. They should be attacking with this flying creature. Don't have anything that can block. They can create a bunch of 1/1 green elves. They can add 1/1 onto their shepherd. Okay, it's not an elf, so they can't. Death Touch is annoying, means it can just kill anything. But we sort of do need something in the graveyard so we can play our Cruxer. See if the opponent attacks this turn. They do, we can't block that. Unless we deal with this, we have 4 4 more turns maximum. But that's alright. They play Fend, the Fangbearer, Death Touch. They give their Herald counter. Interesting. Not sure why the colors don't change. It should have a couple of +1/+1 counters on it. Not sure why it doesn't update. Let's see, what do we cut? We can play this. We can create another rat. Let's attack with the Scorpion. So when it dies, it deals 2 damage. So it won't be enough to kill the Tyvar, but it could slow it down to get that emblem. But I'm pretty sure they'll block. But I'm trying to get something in the graveyard so we can play Croxa. They block with that, which is sort of good for us. We can get rid of it. They'll probably just cast the same thing. But they pretty much have already all the elf things that could the worst of the worst, hopefully. Okay, they play another Herald. They take a Fen from the graveyard. It's also legendary, so they can only play 1. That was interesting. They attack with Tajaru Nightblade. I want to keep the rats around. We can get control of something. Gain control of target creature. So if we had to take control of something, I guess the flying creature. But that's at least 2 more turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe the opponent doesn't have anything that can kill our Piper. So next turn they'll be able to play this thing that says whenever you cast an elf spell it gains haste and you draw 2 cards. It's quite annoying. Play Croxa. Exile 5 cards. Opponent has to discard a card. Doesn't matter too much at this point. And we create another rat. We won't attack. Could have attacked with the rat, I guess, but we'd like to keep the rats around. They make it, we can gain control of the shepherd. Or the herald, does this give us anything? Nope, not really. The Fen maybe. Also not really the Tajara Nightblade. No, I think we need the flying. Okay, they choose to attack. They could have killed the swarm thing. Maybe they have another one.
Your courage is legendary.
Okay, they get in this thing, untap target land you control. You may have it become a 3/3 element creature. Put a creature card with current mana cost player controls to the battlefield from your hand. Okay. Interesting. So they have 1, 2, 3 death touch creatures. So that will be a lot of death touch damage. Let's at least kill their Tajara Nightblade. I think this rat mechanism is interesting, it's just way too slow. We'll take the Vengeful Reaper. And we can play another Slaughter Priest. But it's tapped, so that doesn't help. Yeah, that was also too little too late, I guess. And they get to bring stuff back. They just need to do 2 more damage with Death Touch, and could have done the poison damage, but this will do it. Okay, this episode's getting maybe too long. Unfortunately, we don't get the win. I'll end the episode there for now. Not too many wins, but I hope you still enjoyed that. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. See you in the next video.